Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
Office Bloke Aidan.
Here we are, three of us together. How the fastest horse in the Kentucky Derby was bred and raised to win.
Hell yeah, it's quite cool.
I
looking
love
at
horse
stuff like
racing.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It's probably one of my top sports I like to watch outside of like the team sports of football, and basketball, NFL, college football, ice hockey, athletics, all that kind
Quite
of stuff.
a few then.
Darts.
It's the only thing I actually bet on, really.
Yeah, I do like a wager. We actually met a guy who was the starter, didn't we, for the Kentucky Derby, when we went to Kentucky a couple of years ago. He worked there and he was a starter, so something I definitely want to get to one day.
Yeah.
Let's get into this
Pretty cool.
anyway. How the fastest horse in the Kentucky Derby was bred and raised to win.
Just one Kentucky Derby horse can cost over $2 million. And it takes a lot more money to get them ready for the big race.
They say no foot, no horse. That's what they say.
But there are tiny odds this horse, Mystic Dan, will actually win.
You're always hopeful when you have a baby that maybe it could be the one.
And there's another race going on behind the scenes. Thousands of people are hustling to get the century-old track at Churchill Downs ready for Derby Day. From the gardeners
I want the Kentucky Derby Winner's Circle to be extra beautiful on Derby Day.
to the chefs feeding an audience so large it could fill 7 Super Bowl stadiums.
We literally have schedules minute by minute by minute.
Honestly, I wish there was more than 24 hours in a day.
So how do all the staff set the stage for the largest horse race in the U.S.? And
Do you think it's the largest horse race in the world?
I would say so.
Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
I know financial-wise, I'm not sure it's the biggest. I think there's some more that have popped up now, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think the Arc de Triomphe's quite big. The Epsom Derby, the Preakness Stakes in the US, and I think there's a couple in like the Middle East now that's all like running at the at Aidan. Can't remember what they're called now.
I think the
Can't
name
bet
of the
on those,
Kentucky
though.
Derby is the most popular name
Yeah.
in horse racing.
I think the Epsom Derby, or the Epsom Derby, we call it.
Yeah, we call
The
it
Derby in
Derby.
Britain, yeah.
what does it take to win? Sherilyn Gasaway and her family are part owners of Mystic Dan.
I know what you want. Yes, he loves his peppermints.
This is Cheryl's first Derby race. Mystic Dan has just one chance of winning in his entire lifetime. All horses running in the Kentucky Derby must be 3 years old, not 1 year older or younger. They
didn't know
aren't
that.
fully
Yeah, I
mature
did.
at that age, which adds uncertainty and makes betting more exciting.
He's got this beautiful stripe down his face, and I love that because I can see him when he's running. I can kind of pick him out of a group and know it's him.
Sherilyn has bet on Mystic since he was a baby.
My husband thinks that horses, once they smell you and know you, that they know you forever, and I kind of seem to feel like that's true too.
She's a part owner of his mother and helped pay $10,000 to mate her with a horse that won the Breeders' Cup, one of the biggest horse races in the world.
There's about
Breeders' Cup, that was
10,000
the one I was
colts
thinking
born a year, and 20 of those get to be in the Kentucky Derby.
Never seen a horse that small.
It is a dream of a lifetime.
If Mystic wins,
Oh.
the prize is $3.1 million,
Wow.
and Sherilyn would split 80% of it with the other owners.
If you win on Saturday, you get the whole bag.
But Sherilyn says for her family, it's not really about the money.
They're like my babies. I really want to take care of them. That's the most important thing to me.
Brian Hernandez Jr. will ride Mystic Dan in 3 days. He could take 6% of the purse.
It's the pinnacle of our sport, it's what we all want to do. So to win the Derby is it's a feeling that I can't describe because I've never done it.
Brian has been training with Mystic every day for the past year. Today, he's taking Mystic for his morning workout on the Churchill Downs track. Mystic can go as fast as 37 miles per hour. Most horses don't run the entire 1.25 mile long track at full speed when they train because it's so exhausting. They usually sprint in shorter intervals. The dirt track makes the Derby especially hard to run. Horses' feet sink, increasing the risks of an ankle twist. Do you ever get scared out there?
No, we've been doing it so long, this is like second nature to us. I'm more scared going out snow skiing than I am getting on the back of a racehorse.
Only 20 horses make it into the Kentucky Derby. They have to earn enough points in qualifying races. Mystic Dan got the 18th spot. After competing in 3, which cost his owners $24,000 to enter.
They say it's the road to the Kentucky Derby. It is.
Entering the Derby itself costs another $50,000 in fees.
Anytime anybody says, "Ooh, I wish I could buy a racehorse," I'm like, well, buying the horse is not the part. It's really the training every month. So with all the transportation bills and vet bills and all that stuff, I mean, it can be $3,000 or $4,000 a month.
Brian hands Mystic Dan off to this guy, the hot walker, who cools him down.
These horses, they need care 24 hours a day, so these guys have to sit out here and watch over them.
They'll lap around the barn for about 30 minutes. If horses don't cool down, their legs could cramp up, damaging their muscles.
He's one of those rare type of horses that he's a people pleaser. He wants to please you and do whatever you ask him to do.
Kenny McPeak is Mystic's trainer, and he's confident he can take first place. Kenny has trained 10 Derby horses throughout his career, but has never won. He gets 10% of the purse if Mystic wins. And he'll use some of it to pay bonuses to his staff.
You've got to have an exceptionally talented horse. He's very quiet, nothing disturbs him. You could set off a bomb in between his legs and he wouldn't know.
In the months leading up to the race, Kenny plans out every hour of Mystic's day.
Everything has to be choreographed every day. Organizing grooms, hot walkers, riders, assistants, jockeys. Some horses really like repetition, and they like to know what they're doing every day.
It's mad how you don't, a lot of sports, and this is one of them, where you don't know what goes into the behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's a lot, isn't it?
You know, you see, like, you know, we watch sort of like team sports where they're doing practicing and stuff like that. There's a lot goes into that, you know, training, injuries and recovery and all that kind of stuff. Imagine what goes into this horse racing, and this is just one horse. Don't know what's going on here. I mean, these are 20 horses going to enter the Kentucky Derby.
So I know somebody who works there.
We do know, don't we? Yeah.
What does he actually do? Is he just the jockeys?
He's the guys. Well, we know 3 people that work there. So
I'm talking about Mark.
Yeah, Mark's a jockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse's a like
husband.
but Jesse's like a trainer. She's like she doesn't race. She sort of like trains them, like they're showing there, like on the
and stuff, yeah,
things like that.
What time? It's kind of like people.
But they don't always enjoy bath time.
How do you calm him down when he gets crazy?
Like talk to the horse, like, oh, baby, easy, baby, you know.
Grooms like Henry bathe the horses after morning runs. He washes the same 4 every day. If one of them wins, he could make $30,000.
How would you feel knowing that a horse you've been washing wins?
Well, nothing normal, you know. Maybe one day I get it one.
Grooms typically make about $20 an hour. The shampoo they're using can cost about 3 times that. The conditioner, $180. Plus, tack on another $80 for shine-enhancing moisturizer. From their heads down to their hoofs. Nothing that touches these horses is cheap. Including their uniforms, like this bit and the bridle.
It's probably like a $200 and something bridle.
Fancier ones can cost over $600. Then you have saddles, whose prices range from hundreds to thousands of dollars.
What the hell?
But most important of all are their shoes.
There are all sorts of different types of shoes.
Zane Bays is a 4th-generation farrier, or shoer at Churchill Downs.
Normally shoeing a horse like this is going to be in the $200 range. And blue ones are going to cost you anywhere from $400 to $500 probably.
Just one of its 4 shoes can get auctioned off for over $80,000 if a horse wins.
Wow.
Horses' hoofs are essentially layers of keratin that don't stop growing.
Like the tip of your fingernail. That you would go, you know, like with a pair of fingernail clippers. So I'm going to do that right now.
Oh yeah,
so I'm going to take that and nip that off of there. I'm looking for flat and balanced.
Farriers change horses' shoes every 4 to 5 weeks. Most of them are made of aluminum, with a steel insert to reinforce the toe.
This horse has a little bit of bruising in that foot. But by putting that shoe on there, it's going to protect the bottom of that foot, and most of that bruising will subside by the next time we shoe him.
Nails lock the shoe in place.
Guess you've got no feeling there.
Basically tying his shoe nice and snug. I have to pay attention to his mannerisms. Some of them can be just downright mean. So you kind of have to be in tune with that. They are, 1,200-pound animals. If I do my job correctly, they can do their job. And on to the next appointment.
Pedicure of the day.
Back in the barn, Mystic Dan is almost ready for his morning nap. That's when his groom, Raphael, takes over.
Guys, basically that's a spa day all day.
Yeah, right. Chico. He spends about an hour bandaging Mystic Dan.
We gotta take care about their legs because if they kick or something like that, they get a cut, they get infection, and that's what we had to put bandage on every day.
Wrapping horses' legs also supports their tendons during intense workouts.
Just feeling something special. See, this is an easy horse to work with him. He's so sweet. He never bothers. He just like he is now. He never is moving, never trying to bite, never kicking. Yeah, he's a nice horse, sweet horse.
Chico is originally from Mexico and has been working here for 16 years.
That's the groom's dream, to have a horse in the Kentucky Derby. That's why we work.
Routines like this are essential to lower their chances of getting hurt. In 2023, 12 horses were euthanized after suffering injuries on or near the track. Churchill Downs says there were multiple causes for those injuries, and they do everything to minimize risks. They have since updated their safety protocols, including more frequent vet checkups and additional track maintenance. The Kentucky Derby is the longest continuously run sporting event in U.S. history. A prominent American businessman, Meriwether Lewis Clark Jr., built the track 150 years ago to showcase Kentucky's horse breeding industry. The event was modeled after British races. Spectators were socialites who wore hats to display their social standing.
And they're off! 15 crack thoroughbreds in the 68th running of the Mint Julep Classic.
They should do this again now.
Since the first Derby in 1875, horses have raced here every year, even during World War I. World War II,
Churchill Downs announces a $50,000 war bond purchase.
And the global pandemic.
Shutout leads them home, winner by more than 2 lengths. Shutout earns more than $64,000, a record Derby purse.
One of the oldest traditions is this ring of flowers that adorns the winner's circle.
These guys will pot those up.
Matt Bizzell is in charge of growing those, and all other flowers that adorn the event, at Churchill Downs' very own greenhouse.
We grew about 800 of these. These go in the Kentucky Derby winner's circle. For as long as we have pictures going back there, it's been red geraniums or red begonias in there.
He's been running this place for the past 15 years, but he still gets nervous before Derby Day.
I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning and start worrying about work this time of year.
In total, the gardening crew grows about 20,000 annuals. These plants will die at the end of the year, and they aren't cheap.
That might be $7 or $8, and you take that times 20,000. It is a lot of money that we have in this greenhouse.
But there's no guarantee they'll even last through Derby week. He says up to 5,000 get trampled on race day.
You'll see people sitting on the edge of those pots, so a lot of those pots will have broken flowers in them.
How do you feel when you see that?
It is aggravating, but it has happened so much over the years that I think I'm used to it. So also, it doesn't do any good to yell at people on Derby days, so.
Lavish menus are also a big part of the Derby. And behind the scenes, a team of cooks is racing against the clock.
Each day has about 40 different menus track-wide.
Chef Robert Lopez runs a kitchen of 100 executive chefs. and 1,500 supporting staff. That's not a lot of people, considering they're serving 400,000 guests in under a week. So that's 7 Super Bowls worth of food.
We bring in chefs from all over the country.
The team has to stay relatively small because they're working in tight quarters. They're ordering 10,000 pounds of smoked brisket and thousands of chicken breasts from local farms, and 1,000 pounds of cheese. Most of it arrives just days before the Derby in about 1,100 semi-trucks. Some of it gets here on race day at about 4 a.m.
So how do you keep yourself going through that?
Lots of caffeine.
And then there are the drinks. The mint juleps are the best seller. They bring in about $2.5 million in sales.
We're doing 1,000 pounds of mint, more than 20,000 bottles of bourbon.
Incredible.
This is Brandon Fullen. He oversees all the drink orders.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of cans of Coca-Cola. We're going to be going through pallets of water every hour all across the track.
Could you give me an idea of the number of bottles?
I couldn't possibly.
Everything leads up to this one moment. This year, more than 155,000 people crammed into Churchill Downs to watch the Run for the Roses live. Worldwide, people bet more than $320 million on the race, surpassing last year's record by over $30 million. No matter how much homework bettors do, there's always a little luck involved.
Honestly, you know, you can go, I want to pick this stallion and I want to pick this person, we're going to produce the best horse. But you know, we're not in control of that. I just have faith that he's going to do really well, and so just trusting in that.
We weren't allowed to film the race. Mystic had a good start in lane 3. He lost the lead and ran in the middle of the pack for most of the race. Until he came around the bend and took the lead. The finish was so close, it was impossible to tell who won at first.
How much mud they get on them?
But the final photo confirmed Mystic Dan won by the length of his nose.
You'd be buzzing, man.
Earning his team a record-breaking $3.1 million of the total purse.
It's so special. It really is special to see him make it here. Because we've had him since he was a baby, that's just even more special.
As for Mystic Dan, he got the whole bag of peppermints.
I wonder if all horses could eat peppermints.
They eat apples, don't they?
Yeah.
I know that.
That's a bit different, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because we used to do a lot of shipping for horses, and we used to send the big apples that they used to play with, but they were scented like apples as well. But they play with them and all that kind of stuff. But they were massive, like this big type thing, weren't they? But it's with things like this. It's I mean, you've got to be buzzing that. It's a once in a lifetime race. You only get one shot
for
at
the horses as well.
Yeah, you only get one shot at it as a horse, you know. And
You've got to be 3, right?
You've got to be 3 years.
I
old,
never knew that. That's crazy.
I'm
How
pretty sure
they,
it's
like,
same
you
in
can
our
never have a
derby.
winner, like...
I think it's same in our derby as well. I think you can only you've got to be 3 years old. There's quite a few races where you've got to be a certain age, or certain grade races you've got to be a certain age.
Does it make a big difference?
Yeah, because the, you know, it's,
We've all got the same.
Yeah, you come from the same sort of like background at the moment. No one's an outstanding. That's where you know the good from the bad type thing.
Right.
You know, it's certain races where they've all got to be fillies, or they've all got to be, you know, things like that. So it's I mean, when you look at horse racing, the amount of money that goes into it is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like an unsung sport, if you know what I mean.
It's a lot of people it's
very expensive. A lot of people are against it as well, obviously, for the injuries that happen to the horses and stuff, which I get that as well.
Well, that's just the same as real sports with humans.
It is. But the horse doesn't get paid.
It gets looked after.
Gets well looked after, yeah.
But it's not choosing.
It has a better life than normal horses, for sure.
Depends, possibly. But
I think it does.
But when you look at, horse racing is such an elite sport as well.
Yeah.
It used to be very.
The horses probably love doing it as well.
When you look at some American jockeys that come over to the UK still now and race, one of the, I think, all-time best jockeys from the USA to the UK is Steve Cawthon. You don't see as many as you do now because it's dominated by the Irish at the moment in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a very Irish-driven sport now.
Yeah.
Whereas that's where the best are coming from, and now the Middle East are getting involved with Maktoum. He's got a lot of really good horses with the Godolphin stable and all that kind of stuff. But it seemed that the horses were stabled at Churchill Downs there.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if they get stable at Churchill Downs because they're going to race in it.
I was thinking that's just like
it's coming
the
up
week
to
prior.
it. Maybe that's why I was thinking it could be the week prior to it, and any horse that's racing, they're stabled there already.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Rather than have their own stables wherever with the trainers, and then bring them in. Yeah, yeah. Interesting that though, because it's definitely a bucket list thing to do, and we didn't have the chance to go to the Kentucky Derby. We had the chance to go to Churchill Downs, and we missed out on it because timing and everything wasn't really good enough for us. But it's definitely somewhere where we can go back to. We know where it is. We know how to get there, and we know
you know where it is.
No, you know what I mean. You know the logistics of it all. We know how we can work around getting there, and people we know in that area. But at the same time, it's one of them. It's definitely a bucket list because there's another. I think it's 2 or 3 courses in there that host the Kentucky Derby. I don't think it's just Churchill Downs anymore. I think last year it might have been held. I don't know how old this video is. But
I don't think it's old.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it was last year or the year before when we were there. I don't think it was being held at Churchill Downs. I think it was being held at another racetrack.
That kind of ruins the tradition a little bit. Then
the name escapes me. I think there's 3 courses that that they run them at. Because you've got the Triple Crown in the USA, haven't you? You've got the Preakness Stakes, the Kentucky Derby, and what was the other one you mentioned before? It's not the Belmont Stakes, is it?
No.
Preakness.
I don't know.
Kentucky Derby and whatever for the Triple Crown. But yeah, it's great watching certain horses around the world racing different things because very different horses racing on the sand and the mud. And
that's a bit different
compared to the grass. And then you've got the
I
all-weather
prefer
surface.
It's better on grass, I think.
Yeah, I agree. My preference is grass. But yeah, good day at the races. Always is.
Yeah.
Great sport.
Great to dress up.
Yeah, enjoyed that. Hope you guys did as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.